Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to go back to a comparison review. A little bit different today, guys. We're going to try the old versus new Bunnahabhain 18-year-old, both 46.3% ABV. Gentlemen, what do you know about these two whiskeys?
Bunnahabhain is one of my favorite distilleries. I think I'm on record in the whiskey tube community as saying how great Bunnahabhain 18 was before really the word was out there. And word on the street, and I got it from someone actually in the industry that knows somebody. There is older whiskey in there, like 22, 23, maybe even 24-year-old whiskey. They top dress it.
You're talking about the older version of it, which is this one right here. So that's essentially what we're going to try to figure out today. How do these whiskeys compare? Not that we can get the old version anymore, but in case anyone can pick them up on the secondary market or someone's hoarding them somewhere in a whiskey collection.
Or you're just in a small rural town where apparently it's just sitting on the shelf still.
No doubt.
If you find one, let me know so I can buy it.
Yeah, actually, my coworker found this when he went on vacation in Myrtle Beach this year. So that's the old one here, the 46.3, and then here's the newer version with the blue label. Again, 46.3% ABV. Really don't tell you anything different as far as how long they're aged, the cask maturation being different. But again, I have heard that the older version had older whiskeys in it, and the newer version, while being younger, also has more first fill. Yep. So anyway, guys, let's try to get into it and figure out what the differences are between these whiskeys, if anything.
Which one are we smelling first?
Dustin's going with the old one. Let's go with the old 18. Would be on everyone's left. You're right, if you're looking on the camera.
This is interesting. I mean, I'm getting a... I'm trying to think what this is. It's reminding me of some kind of it's like a cleaner of some sort. A really good note though. I mean, it's
You get that light sherry. This one, I think you mentioned to me initially, Keith, it reminds me a lot of the Bunnahabhain 25 in general. And I'm not saying this is 25-year-old whiskey, but it has that nice subtle spice, light sherry notes.
You can definitely tell that these are aged in dunnage warehouses. You get this kind of, it's like earthy, salted caramel chocolates with some soil in there. It's just these beautiful rounded
I'm getting a touch of Robitussin in here too.
There's a slight floral or medicinal type note.
Yeah, but it's like a grapey almost note. I mean, it's sherry, but it's when the sherry starts getting to the point where it's so much dark fruit that I'm starting to think grape.
All right, so I mean, very nice, very approachable.
I mean, this definitely does smell like older whiskey.
It does. It smells like 20-plus-year-old whiskey. If you said this was a 21-year whiskey, I wouldn't doubt it, even 25.
Yeah, no, if you said this was 25, I'd say I believe you.
Yeah, very similar on the nose to the normal Bunnahabhain 25-year-old. All right, guys, let's take a look at the new one with the blue label.
I mean, this is so different on the nose; it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so much sharper.
It's sharper.
It's astringent.
It's younger.
I mean, it's just good.
In a good, in a
it's
good way.
It's got some good sherry notes. It's just younger and more pungent.
Very punchy. The sherry punch is there quite a bit more.
When I go from the old to new, I smell bourbon. Now, after I've had a couple kind of noses here, the bourbon goes away.
I actually can go there with you a little bit.
Like at first, when I went from old to new, I'm telling you, I was like, whoa, there's a bourbon cask kind of thing going on.
And there's it's more spicy.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Wood spice, yeah.
Definitely spicier. Definitely feels like there are more first fill or more aggressive fill sherry casks in this one. To me, the sherry notes are far sharper and far stronger.
The new 18 is actually tasting, it's not as good as this one, but it's actually tasting better than I remembered it.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I'm getting less sherry on the new one.
I'm getting more.
The
sharpness of it, am I missing that?
It's just younger. I feel like there's more younger first fill sherry cask, which typically for me comes out as spice, cinnamon. This is more rounded, old school chocolate, espresso, salted chocolate caramels. Yeah,
so again, it kind of goes back to what style of whiskey would you prefer? Yeah. Would you prefer something more aged, more well-rounded, a little more difficult as far as the time you need to take with it, as far as getting to some of the finer notes, or would you like something that's a little more straightforward with the new 18?
I don't get first fill sherry on either of these when I think about it. I mean, they're definitely both sherried.
For sure.
I would think both of them are almost all second fill.
And they may be. Maybe when I say first fill comparatively, I just mean a sharper sherry note.
I think you've been drinking too many Glendronics recently. They're 100% first fill Oloroso sherry.
Agreed.
Glendronach, Glengoyne. I mean, what else would you drink?
We have been drinking some pretty amazing sherry bombs lately.
Yeah, but I mean, I smell this compared to even say the old Macallan 12s. This just has way less sherry notes to me.
I haven't had the old Mac 12 in a while. Have you had it recently?
Last night.
Yeah, and you think it's...
Okay, but before I came up here, actually.
All right, guys, time for the first sip. Let's start with the new 18.
We can do that.
New 18, we'll go with that first.
Vanilla, butter, a lot of spicy wood notes.
Yep. Spicy wood, spicy oak.
Cinnamon,
Definitely.
Yeah.
ginger.
A little bit of ginger.
I'm getting some kind of really nice, just kind of baked good kind of thing at the end.
Baked apple pie.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah, cinnamon covered apple pie.
It's a little more spicy than most apple pies, but yeah.
Yeah, maybe almost like, did you guys ever when you were a kid, like with applesauce, like put cinnamon and sugar?
Yeah.
Or whatever?
I can see that, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of that feel.
And still kind of, it has a good linger to it too. I mean, it kind of sticks on the palate after you swallow it.
Yeah, no, it's got a good finish. Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's medium to almost long.
I mean, it's 46.3% ABV. That's a good ABV.
Yeah.
As I told you now, 46 was my new minimum.
As long as you're
standard
46,
for-
I'm good, yeah. You go
Sorry,
under
what I'm
46 and I start complaining.
Yeah, no doubt. It feels thin,
Yeah.
but this doesn't feel thin. This feels, it's a good viscosity.
There's a little like grapey, like artificial candy flavor and grape
I get
flavoring.
that. Get that. Like candy cigarette sort of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a little chalkiness.
I'm just getting a really nice kind of baked, spicy, kind of lingering thing here. It's a nice whiskey. It's probably not one I'd go back to often though, because I'm not a huge fan of that spiciness.
Agreed.
Just not where I go with my whiskey.
See, that's the difference in my opinion between an older quality sherry, which maybe actually had a better quality. The sherry casks were actually better sherry casks versus even a first fill that maybe the casks were good or okay, but not great. Those are more like spicy and like astringent, whereas like the old school good sherry casks are like chocolatey and earthy. And
All right, guys, let's go to the old version, the old label version of the 46. Let's see what we get on the palate.
It's less intense, but gosh, you've got that old sherry, the chocolates, almost maybe some plum puddings.
Plum, agreed.
And then now at the end, it does start turning into a little bit of spiciness. It's a longer finish because it's still going here.
It's so rich and juicy comparatively.
Yeah.
Compared to the new version of it. I mean, on the nose, I could say, oh, well, if you like a little this style of whiskey better, I could see maybe you would like this as much, if not more.
Yeah.
Not on the palate. On the palate, it's very one way as far as what's the better taste.
Yeah, there is a little less alcohol on this one, especially up front. On the finish, maybe you get a little more.
It's just way more rounded.
Yeah. I mean,
The rough edges are gone.
Yeah, the alcohol is the same. I mean, they're both 46.3,
yeah, but-
which makes it an interesting comparison. But try doesn't feel that way.
Well, we're, as whiskey drinkers, we're not allowed to use the word smooth ever.
It's smooth.
But this is a smoother whiskey in terms of the alcohol doesn't hit you over the head. Not that this one does. Those are both well done, but
See, I don't think smooth is always bad. So I know Ralphie obviously is his big, smooth. Smooth isn't bad. So to me, sometimes like you get the 40%, like not very good cask maturation, it's smooth. But if you have like full flavor punch and it's smooth, no, that's
yeah. Well, again, and I think some of us mean alcohol, others mean there's really no character to the whiskey, and that's where we don't want it.
Correct.
We want character, and these both have character, but this is just, it's refined, it's more elegant, and
Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, Bunnahabhain is not a distillery I think of refined with, generally.
Yeah.
They're a little more assertive. They're
I feel like you've had some of the younger, like Siobanacs and the Toy. Have you had?
yeah, but like you compare it to like Balvenie or Macallan.
I don't know.
Have you had the old the old Bunnahabhain 12? I'm sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. If you stick with the age statements, I think the Bunnahabhain 12 matches up very well with, say, the Balvenie 12 Doublewood or the Macallan 12.
It's not that they don't match up. This is not a bad thing. I just think of it as a more assertive malt. That it's got more. Like Highland Park is not refined as much as some of those because it's got a little peat, it's got a little gristle, it's got a little dirt and smoke, which I love. Bunnahabhain is not something I think of as refined, but this 18 is much more on that.
It's a bit dirty at
Yeah,
times.
yeah. Well, we did the Balvenie 25 year, and then we did the Bunnahabhain 25 year. The first time I was over here. The Balvenie is a much more refined 25. Not that is a 29 year, but
Sure. No, I mean, I agree with the fact that, especially something like Balvenie is going to show better. But, I think Bunnahabhain, as far as the style of malt, it's kind of medium. There are ones that are better, like Balvenie, I agree with.
well, it's not even as good or bad. I mean, it's meatier. There's just there's some salty characters to it. There's There is a hint of peat, maybe. Although I'm not getting any on this, either of these.
So, what do you guys think as far as the palate? Then, are you guys both in agreement that the old 18 is a better palate than the new one?
They're so far apart.
It's got that. So I haven't really said what I get. So it's like earthy, salted chocolate caramels, and then it's like almost juicy fruit bubble gum at the end of the palate.
Yeah, it's changing as I drink it too. Like at first, I was overwhelmed with the sweetness and the chocolates, but now that I'm kind of going back to it, I'm getting that earthiness, that saltiness.
Yeah.
I tell you what, if you go back to the newer version of 18 now, it really smells sharp on the nose comparatively. I mean, I would almost not believe these were the same ABV on the nose. On the palate, sure, maybe, but not on the nose. It feels very sharp on the nose.
Oh, now it's coming off a little sour too.
The old or new?
The new. It's a little sour, a little bitter, sour and bitter on the finish, which is not always a bad thing, but
It is sour.
compared to the new, I mean,
It's night and day. I mean, the fact that these are both 18-year-old whiskeys that are 46.3% ABV, I wouldn't have guessed it if I tasted them blind.
I mean, this comes off like a $250, $300 bottle. This comes off like one that you hope's under 100.
Exactly. 80 bottle is what I was going to say.
Yeah, I mean, and that's how different these two are, which is shocking. I mean,
No, you're right. Now, see, these are both about 110. I wouldn't buy this again at 110. I would run to buy this again at 110.
Oh my gosh.
give me 3.
Yeah, exactly. I'd buy it out. All right, so I think we're all in agreement as far as nose, taste, everything. We prefer the old one quite a bit better than the new version. Sad, but it's the way of things. If you're in the Scotch whiskey drinking business at all, you probably, that's no surprise to anybody, I would say.
So what's your point spread here, Mike?
If I were to say these today, I mean, this is just throwing out numbers. I'd say this is about a 90, where I would say this is about an 87.
That's exactly where I was at.
Yeah, 90 compared to an
exactly.
87.
I was thinking 89, 90 here, and I was
Yep.
thinking, I was starting to go 85, but that's probably 86, 87.
Yeah, so we got a 3 to 4 point swing on the
Yeah.
difference of these two. So if you guys are ever, out of a store, you see both versions of these, absolutely pick this one up. I think you'll be
Don't
quite...
pick it up so we can get it.
Yeah, walk right
Actually,
past
call us. We will help dispose of it. It's too old to drink.
Dustin
It's
will-
not good at
We'll
all.
post Dustin's phone number at the end in the comment section so you guys can call him and let him know that. But we want to once again, thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Again, I haven't done one of these comparisons in a while, and this is a little bit different style of comparison, but one that Keith, you initially turned me on to, and so I was able to get both bottles and compare them because I didn't believe you at first, but man, you're completely right. I was dead wrong about this one. So don't be afraid to try different vintages of whiskeys because they can often change quite a bit, just like the Talisker 25 cask strength compared to non. If you guys have ever tried one of those, you know what I'm talking about. We'll see you in the comment section. Until next time, I wish you
Happy
Happy
drinking.
drinking.